Here I am leaving Rallies again for the second time today. I came here once earlier because I was hungry and I wanted something kind of quick and easy, and I always like Rallies. And then the second reason is because I got the wife at Big Buford because she likes them. I got two of them, and as well I got a great big old sack of spicy chicken sandwiches. Well, I got me two of the spicy chicken, and of course the bag in the house with the Big Bufords had the part of the receipt on it, and I got the other stuff for the people that was working on my house today, because I didn't know if they had lunch with them or not and stuff like that. So I didn't figure they did, so I went ahead and got lunch for them. I mean, it wasn't nothing fancy, nothing spectacular, but I got them something to eat. I looked at it as, they're taking time out of their day to work on my house. The least I can do is give them something to eat at least. So, but when I came back with it, two of them had already left to go eat lunch. So, Jason, which is, I guess he's my neighbor. He was my neighbor, but until his house burned down. And then he moved down a little bit ways down the road from me. He's still kind of like my neighbor, I guess you call it. But he had, he was there, and the other guy was there, and his son was there, so they got to eat some Rallies and what have you, and of course everything's okay, it's no big deal. So I got it for them to eat. Of course the other two came back like an hour and a half later, and yeah, it was, I tell you what, for him to pay them for a day's work, there's no way in hell I'd even pay him. Because when he showed up this morning, there was some stuff that basically was missing from the order that he had placed for me. So he had to go retrieve that. And from when he was gone, one of the guys was doing what he was supposed to be doing. Now I couldn't see the other two because I'm not for sure. I know, actually, let me take it back. One of the two guys was doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing. The other guy was working, but he wasn't. And the third guy basically was like a state worker, had his thumb up his ass and didn't do shit but stand there and whatever. But of course all that changed when Jason came back. Well, kind of changed. But if I was Jason and I was paying these guys for a day's work, they would have left that job with about $30 in their hand, because that would be all I would have paid them. Nothing, not a penny more. And yeah, they wouldn't like me at all whatsoever. But I guess it is what it is. Now, I'm not agitated with the work Jason and them did. I love it. I think it's a great job. The back of my house had a lot of issues of the siding on it, because it had the T111 board on the outside. Well, actually, that's what's around my whole house is T111 board, and it's regulated to last about 10 years. And I was going to replace it with T111 board, and I was going to have Jason to do it for me. But Jason was like, well, you know what? Instead of doing that, why don't you use that metal that I use on my place in the beginning? And I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, that would make a lot more sense, because that metal is regulated for like 20. It's either a 20-year metal or a 40-year metal. It's one of the two. I don't remember, but I know it's one of the two. And T111 boards only regulated for 10 years at max. So I was like, you know what? Let's do the metal. And because for the amount of T111 board that I was going to need to replace the other T111 board, it would have been like $430, $420, something like that, give or take. And the metal cost me $500 even. I mean, there's a slight difference in, cost. But if one's going to last about 10 years and have to be replaced again, versus one that's going to last 20 to 40 years, let's do the math and spend about, say, $70 plus each, $70-ish a difference in price for that amount of time that's going to last longer than the wood base. Well, not really wood, it's like a plywood with a special coating on it and a bunch of other crap added to it to make it weather resistant for X amount of years, and then it falls apart and you got to replace it again. So that is why I went with the metal. I mean, you'd have to be a fool not to. And the only thing left for me to do is pay him for the job. Now, he told me, quote unquote, because I was going to pay him for the metal and the job and everything up front. And he said no. He said pay for the metal, and whenever all that's said and done, after the job is done, he said, then you pay me. I said, okay. He said, because I hear too many times people that go work for people, and the job gets started or it never gets done or something of that nature takes place. And he said, just for my benefit alone, I want you to wait to pay me till the job is done. Now, sometime this week, the job will be done, because in the order, basically something went wrong with the order as well, and he didn't cash it towards the very end. And he said, of course, he called in, ordered the piece that he needs, and he said sometime between now and this weekend, he will be there to finish the job and, get everything done. And of course, I pulled him to the side before, when they're almost done with everything, and I was talking to him, and I asked him, what do I owe him? And because I was under the impression it was just going to be like maybe me and him and his son and my kids putting the stuff up. Well, he had a partial crew with him, and I didn't know if that changed the price or not, because he had people with him. And he said no. He goes, what I told you is what I want. And he said, all of them, that's between me and them. He said, what I told you is between me and you. So, and of course, thinking about it now, truthfully, what I think I might do is go ahead and get the two sides of the house done, and this year as well. I'll have to talk to him, do some crunching and some other calculational figures, stuff like that, nothing major, and see what we can do with that. And then say next year, do the front of the house, and just do it like in segments, which is fine with me, because I'm still trying to save money as much as possible, because the wife's been out of work for a month, and with no income from her coming in, it's been, I wouldn't say it's been eating up our tax return, but it somewhat has, because I've been having to pay all the bills with our tax return. So, well, everything but mine, because I pay for the house payment, mortgage payment, water payment, and part of the electric bill, and she picks up the rest. And but yeah, I mean, that right there, you know, for that month, I mean, our monthly bills is like 1,600, 1,800, somewhere around there for our monthly bills. So there's almost $2,000 out of our tax return that got eaten up on bills because she's been out of work. But she needed the surgery, so that, you know, I'm not complaining by any means. You know, shit happens, you gotta deal with it. So, but with all that being said and done, you know, that's why, I mean, because he told me to finish up the rest of the house, he said probably would be like $2,000. And that's why I was like, well, let me ponder on that. And I mean, if all else fails, even if I don't do both sides of the house, you know, say do one side and keep the front side and the other side for next year, something like that. And this sun is bright. I can barely see even with sunglasses on. But that's something I'm gonna ponder on. I'm gonna run it past him and see what he thinks. Of course, I know that, you know, with him, you know, he would like to have more of that type of work done, because the more he works, the more money he makes, and, you know, he's not getting shortchanged and stuff like. No, I would hate to use the word shortchanged, but, you know, he's not doing something and making a little bit of money on versus something he could be doing something and making a lot of money on. And that's what I have to consider as well, because, you know, I don't want to make him I don't want him to do a job that he's not gonna, you know, profit off of versus something he can, you know, pick up some, I call it pocket change, but, you know, a few $100 versus $1,000 plus. You know, I mean, if you had a choice to make 1,000 plus versus, you know, a couple $100, which one would you rather do? So, and that's what I have to put in consideration as well. And he left his jacket here, so I guess I get to go over there and grab the jacket and take it in the house and let him know that he left his jacket here. Hopefully there's nothing important in it. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I took pictures of it as best as I could to get like the full side of the house in it, as much as possible. Oh, it's nice. It's really nice. I mean, I'm tickled pink. I mean, I'm beyond tickled pink. So, you know, and I hope that some of the people that are within my area, now I'm going to take pictures of it and post it on Facebook and tag him in it and everything else, so that way, say, if somebody around here between now and whenever needs some work done, I hope they call him, I hope they hit him up, and I hope they say, hey, you know, I saw your work on such and such place, and I want you to come fix me up some stuff. So, but with all that said and being done, I'm back at the house, as you see. My cluttery, kind of scattered yard. Plus, I got to get this food in the house for the kids before they run rampant. Lord forbid they get famished a little bit. But I'm gonna download this, and I will see y'all later. I'm tired. I'm ready to take me a nap. I gotta go tomorrow. I was supposed to be at my I keep saying father-in-law. I was supposed to be at my stepdad's this afternoon, working on my mower. And I didn't go because I was over here when they were here working, which is fine. I talked to my stepdad on the phone and told him what we were doing today, and he said, good, I'm glad everything's going the way you need it to go. He said, I told him I got the parts replaced and everything else, because where I had a belt issue, they gave me the wrong size belt. And so I got that, and I got some clips for the front end for the tires, and hopefully between tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to get my jungle mode, and it'll look a lot nicer. And then we can start doing some of this other side tasking, material kind of things, picking shit up, putting trash and everything else, and if not, putting a big ass pile and burn it. One of the two. And where Jason used to live as well, there's a big ass pile of cinder blocks over there. I'm gonna have me and my boys probably take a wheelbarrow over there and load up so many blocks at a time and do it that way, because I'm going to take those cinder blocks and use them for part of my raised beds, because I mean it won't be a complete raised bed, but it's enough there to where I can make a decent size one at least, and I won't have to use so many 5-gallon buckets for my other stuff, and I can get some my other stuff started and worked out and going as well. So, but I'm gonna get off here, and there'll be a follow-up more later on, and y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all again soon.